Hello guys, welcome to online course on Android. In today's tutorial we're gonna learn about how to add two numbers or how to have a user interface layout using a constraint layout for adding two numbers. We're not gonna see the action part of it, we're just gonna see the design part of user interface. In the previous tutorial we saw about how to add a linear layout, am I right? So we talked about linear layout, horizontal and vertical. I also said that it would be tough if you want to add a lot of layouts, correct? So if you want to add a now a text view, then a edit text, a text view and edit text and a button, so one below each other. So if you wanted to use linear layout, horizontal or a vertical, then you had to write lots of layouts within layout. So to overcome that, there was the relative layout, which was then became a constraint layout, the hybrid of the constraint layout. So today we're gonna see how to work on that using a constraint layout, a very short video on this. After that we're gonna learn about how to create an intent. Okay, what do you mean by an intent? There are two types of intents we're gonna learn about in the next tutorial. Now this tutorial we're gonna learn about I think most of you have done about worked on constraint layout, linear layouts and all before the previous tutorial has seen how to do it. Alright, so I'm selecting a basic activity, empty activity, and we'll say constraint layout. Okay, we're gonna use a constraint layout, rest all we keep it the same. Okay, all right, in this constraint layout, as I said, we're gonna create one text view, one edit view, again one text view, one edit view and a button. So two text views, one edit view, edit text and a button. All right, now in this particular tutorial we're gonna work on a constraint layout. As a beginner, you must have tried to drag and drop, must have gone wrong somewhere, or if you're not gone, then it's well and good, but basically it is a little bit tougher when you do and drag and drop out here. All right, so here we gonna remove this. We don't need a text view, rather we gonna create our own text views. Okay, all right, yes, so we got a match parent, is it? Yes, match parent, a constraint layout. Now how to do this, how to work on this particular? So as I said, we need two text views, two edit text and one button. So we gonna start with a basic text view. Okay, so kindly follow this properly, so it will be useful for you. Otherwise you make little not make it proper, it will be upside down and all your DP and SPs will change. So I need a one text view. Okay, now this is very important. Okay, all we're gonna do is that we need to set it to the parent, match parent. So we're gonna do it here to the right of and to the left of. Okay, when you do that, it'll basically, if you see my code, okay, so I want it here, one text view here. Okay, so if you see my code, if you can see here, correct, it is wrapped at that particular. Now if I don't do that, now if I do it by myself, what will happen is that I got a lot of changes. Okay, so if you're doing it not setting it properly, so it will give you a certain kind of changes, which I'm gonna show it to you later what will happen if I drag and drop and do little changes in that. Okay, so I need a edit text which is called a plain text, correct? So I want it here. Okay, now when I do here, can you see here it says this view is not constrained, correct? Yes, it says this view is not constrained. So that's an error. Now if I try to do something here, so basically I don't have I've not properly done it to the top, to the end or to the start, correct? So I need to do that. So how will I do that? I need to set it up here. Okay, then on my left, then on my right, then on my left, correct? Okay, once I do that, then I get it here. So my error is gone, am I right? So if I see here, I've got a text view, okay, and a edit text, correct? I want one more text view. Okay, so I'm gonna select one more text view here. Okay, so that also I need to set it okay, otherwise it will give me an error saying that the constraint is not been viewed properly. So once I do that, so my red mark goes out, so I'm gonna set it out here. Okay, this is a very basic step we need to see. Okay, all right, then I need one more text view. Okay, so edit text, sorry, so I'm gonna, all right, so I'm gonna pull this edit text here, I need it here. Okay, so I need to set it on the either sides, okay, to frame it properly. Done. Then I'm gonna set it here. Done. Okay, then I want a button, correct? So I want a button. All right, so again I need to set it here, okay, to the left and to the right. Now if you see my code, okay, if you see my code here, okay, there are a lot of changes, don't worry about that. Yes, id, yes, wrap content, yeah, because within that area, margin top, that is a margin top here what we have got. Now if you want to see, basically you can click on this I will actually show you. Now I'm gonna show you now, see here, so show all constraints, so it will basically show you all the constraints which are connected. So you can see layout margin top for this text view 356, for this 504, correct, so it is here, okay, sorry, yes, for this button basically, okay, 504, correct. Now all these things are done here, you can check it out there. Now why I did that, so it has to match it. Now if you don't do it, so what it will say, it is not to the end of the parent, so it won't sit properly. Now I can change. Now I have a text view, okay, so where's my text view? Yeah, this is my first text view, so I'll change it to first number. As I told you, we are doing adding of two numbers, so I'll say first number. Okay, great. Then for the second text, edit text, I don't have to do anything. I can just remove the edit text, which I'm gonna enter actually. So I've got a second text view, so I'll say second number. Okay, all right, so again I don't need a edit text name, so that is just highlighted. Then I've got a button, so instead of button I'll say add. Okay, all right, now this is the basic thing what we do. Okay, now if you're doing everything fine, and when you try to run this particular application, the Gradle is building, so it will take some time. Okay, now what it does is that it will just here it is very easy for me to set the text views, edit text to my left or to my right, to the below or above, anything very easily. In linear layout I had to create what a layout within a layout to set it properly, which would be take a lot of time. Basically when we have got such an easy way of doing it, constraint layouts, which as I told you, it's an hybrid of a relative layout, which will help us to do a lot of explanations about it. All right, now how we do it. Now the Gradle is built. Okay, now you can see here, I think Gradle is built, right? Okay, all right, now can you see here first number, second number, and add? So I want to put 1 and sorry, I want to put 1, then I want to put 2, and I say add. So I'm not doing any functions out. I just wanted to show you. Okay, all right, now if you basically now what happens is that now you want to I can say you want to do like this. Okay, so I'm gonna, okay, I want to make it, stretch it a little bit bigger. Okay, all right, so I did that. I want to stretch this also a little bit bigger. All right, now if you see here, one I did for the button. Now if you see here, it automatically changes my width from wrap content to my layout and my this thing particular text view. So wrap content, which it was there for the previous edit text or the text view wrap content, so one I changed, that's the second one. Now if I run this and if I try to check it, Okay, now here you need to be really careful. Now you can do that also, but again you need to give your DPs and whatever the width and height is, they should match it properly. So it will take some time for when you do hard coding basically on that. So it will take a little bit of time, not much of time, because you need to practice. The practice, as I told you, practice always makes you perfect. As you keep on practicing it, it will help you a lot to do it. So you need to be very careful with that. So how to set this particular DP, how to set this particular wrap contents, how the wrap content is done, then how this particular file is manipulated. So all these things you need to know. Now if you see here, okay, can you see here, it's gone below. Okay, so you need to know now second number has gone slightly higher, correct? So all these things can be done proper with the help of, you can change it. Now if you, as I told you, show all the constraints, correct? So if you can see my constraints out here, so I changed it. Now I want to now let me stop this. Okay, I want to change this. Okay, now I want to pull it out here, so I can do that. So now when I'm trying to run it, so if you can see here, now there are little bit of changes. Now here it is changed in the first text view, correct? First number, as I told you, okay, first number, correct? Now if I am seeing here in my particular application, okay, that this is about the linear layout, not a particular application. Now if you can see here, can you see the change? The first number went up now. Okay, so to make it proper, we need to have certain ideas how to do it. Now either you can set it up properly, you can check it like this, but make sure that all your constraints are equally matched. This is very important: end off, start off, and top off. Okay, so it has to match the parent, it has to match this particular parent. So basically all these are very easy. Now this is the basic thing which we learned in an constraint layout. So there are lots of more you can learn in a constraint layout. You can add a a plain of email ID, time, date, which I'm gonna give you as an assignment to do it. All right, so that also you can do it. Okay, so basically this tutorial was only about this, where you can know, because you need to know how this particular is stretched. So you need to stretch it on the either sides, left, right, and the top for you, and the bottom also if you want to. So it will give me a bottom constraint, so you can do that, but make sure that if you are changing it, okay, or if you are doing it manually. Okay, now think, you want to do it manually. Okay, so let me stop this. All right, and let me delete these. Okay, now I will add myself. I want a text view. Okay, okay, done. I want to wrap the contents. Okay, good enough. Okay, sorry. Okay, now you can see, as it says, this view is not constrained, so you need to give Android, okay, colon layout. Okay, so I closed it. I need to open that to be highlighted. Android colon layout. Okay, now these are the other things which we see here, correct? What I want to do in Android colon layout, what basically to the end of, to the top of, or what I have to do in start, in the right, in the margin left. So all these things are but basically it done here. Okay, so we need to be very careful when we are doing it, as if you are doing it by yourself. If you're not doing it by yourself, then if you're trying to basically what do you say, trying to basically do it by in the help, with the help of this particular text you are ready to be with directly drag and drop, that would be very useful for you. But main thing what you need to know, that you need to use this constraints. So if you don't use these constraints, and as I told you, if you want to do it by yourself, then you need to give it properly. If you don't give it properly, then this particular errors will come. That's what I told you. As I see, if I tell you, okay, let me explain it to you. Okay, so as I said, I need a text view, so I'll just do one. Okay, so later you can work on it. All right, so yes, text view. So as I said, it should be constrained properly. So I can give margin top if I want. Android layout. Yes, again the same mistake. Okay. Android layout. Okay, margin top you can give it as 250 dp. Okay, all right, so you can see Android text, Android colon text, say hello, how are you. Okay, so you can see here the changes. Then as I told you, you need a constraint, app constraints for that. So app constraint, we need app constraint to the end of, okay, to the end of a parent, okay, one. Okay, then I need to use again app colon constraint, sorry, not to the bottom of, okay. Okay, you'll be you'll have that kind of what do you say, how do I put it for you? Okay, I can say that you can get practice more enough as you keep on doing it, correct, as you keep on doing all these things, so you will keep on having this particular constraints. Now then you can drag and drop, or you want to basically do it. All right, so if you want to particularly arrange it, correct, so if you want to arrange it, now basically, now if you see here, I need to have one more, so I forgot to put that to the end of and start off and top off. So you can basically do that. So you need to be very careful while writing, hard coding it. It will be a little bit tough for you when you do it. All right, so drag and drop is quite easier for current now, but as you proceed you need to type it. So from 2-3 tutorials after this, we're gonna do it hard coding it in a way. Okay, this is the basic one which I told. I think the previous one are the drag and drop will be a little bit easier for you for time being. All right, so that's all guys for this tutorials about the constraint layouts. As I said, as we worked on this particular application, okay, this particular layout. Now how basically we gonna do about the constraint layouts, how the below and bottom, how the first number, second number can be done. In the next tutorial we're gonna learn about intent. It's like how to go from one activity to the another activity. So this is one activity, I need to go to another activity, which we basically saw in I think in the tutorial of and first XML, correct, the process. Remember the pause and resume event, we saw that from one activity. So the next tutorial we're gonna speak about that. So that's all guys for this tutorial. So keep practicing about the constraint layouts. So there are lots of sites which will help you out also. So if you fall in any kind of errors or bugs, so you can just revert to me back in my email ID. Thank you guys, have a nice day.